And I wanted to answer the question, uh, do woke companies really go broke? Because we always hear go woke, go broke. Do woke companies really go broke? Let's start out by just recapping this story here. I don't know if you guys could. No, you couldn't hear that. This video started playing on the link that I'm using here, but I want to recap this story from the New York Post. Bud Light's marketing VP was inspired to update quote fratty out of touch branding. So, recently, like I said, Dylan Mulvaney. I can even share some of this here, just so that you guys can see exactly what I'm looking at. Let's share my screen. Okay. So this is Dylan Mulvaney right there. Okay. So Dylan Mulvaney was recently added as one of the spokespeople for Bud Light. In fact, here's what I'll even do. I think didn't mean to hit the mic there, but let's get all the way up top. So here is the video. I don't want to infringe on copyright or anything, but here is Dylan Mulvaney announcing that he is now a Bud Light sponsor. Here is that now.
Hi, impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us. So I kept hearing about this thing called March Madness, and I thought we were all just having a hectic month, but it turns out it has something to do with sports. And I'm not sure exactly which sport, but either way, it's a cause to celebrate. This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy.
Okay, whatever. So I covered a lot of that on my last show, talking about how 365 days of womanhood is absolute crap, whatever. But I do want to talk a little bit about, since that last show, the Bud Light vice president of marketing discussed in a recent interview how she was inspired to update the fratty and out of touch humor of the beer company with inclusivity. So Alyssa Heinerscheid did an interview with the podcast Make Yourself at Home on March 30th, where she discussed her work in transforming the Bud Light brand. She said, quote, "I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light, and it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink, this brand will be no future. There will be no future for this brand, Bud Light." Heinerscheid's comments have gone viral days later after Bud Light and its parent company, Anheuser-Busch, received backlash for partnering with transgender activist Dylan Mulvaney. The beer maker ignited a firestorm earlier this month when it celebrated Mulvaney's, quote, 365 days of girlhood by sending Mulvaney custom-made cans featuring the influencer's face. And Mulvaney said the cans were her, quote, most prized possession on Instagram, with a post featuring hashtag Bud Light Partner. A video then featured Mulvaney in a bathtub drinking a Bud Light beer as part of the campaign. Okay. Then the host even asked the vice president of marketing about her background, perspective, and values impacted the Bud Light brand. And the Bud Light vice president said, quote, "I'm a businesswoman. I have a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time. And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink, then this brand will have no future." Whatever. She added further that she had a, quote, super clear mandate that, quote, to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. She said that she was brought to the brand with, she said that what she brought to the brand was a belief that to evolve and elevate means to incorporate inclusivity. It means shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and men. Well, honestly, she might have gotten one thing right. She might actually be appealing to both women and men because she is using a man who pretends to be a woman. But in fact, when you try to put all of that into this, it doesn't really make it super inclusive. In fact, I'm trying to answer the question here. Does going woke actually cause people to go broke? And in fact, according to the New York Post, it does. In another article by the NYP, Anheuser-Busch loses more than $5 billion in value amid Dylan Mulvaney's Bud Light controversy. Beer colossus Anheuser-Busch saw its value plummet more than $5 billion since the company announced its branding partnership with controversial transgender social media influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Since March 31st, shares of Bud Light's parent company have fallen nearly 4%. knocking down the company's market capitalization from 132 billion to 127 billion on Wednesday. Anheuser-Busch stock fizzled more than 1.5% on Wednesday, and the company is dealing with the fallout from conservatives over its deal with Mulvaney, the 26-year-old transgender influencer with more than 10 million followers on social media. Mulvaney fired back at critics Tuesday, accusing them of bullying her, it's really him, bullying him because she's a, quote, easy target. You want to know why you're an easy target, Dylan Mulvaney? Is because the only reason you have 10 million followers is because you pretend to be a woman and expect everybody else to go along with this sham too. Look, here's the thing, is for the most part, most conservatives were like, before a lot of this like controversy with transgenderism and everything like that, for the most part, most conservatives were like, do whatever you want, pretend to be a woman if you want, just like don't make it affect me. But now it's become a problem. Matt Walsh has said it best when he's gone on like Dr. Phil and other areas. He talks about when the reason we get asked so often, why do we care? Why do we care about transgender? Well, one, I care about truth. Two, I care about kids. And three, it's because you ask me to care. You ask me to care. You say, I must follow the pronouns that you see fit. I must do what you say, despite the fact that I believe that you are either born a man or you are born a woman. We are expected to follow the delusion that the other side creates. Once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. If your identity is reliant on my belief of your identity, then are you really what you believe you are? Are you really? If you need me to believe that you're a woman for you to be considered a woman, are you really a woman? What is a woman? Great question. Anyways, getting back to the story, from what it seems like, yes, going woke does cause you to go broke, period. Again, the company is dealing with fallout from conservatives, Bud Light, and their parent company, Anheuser-Busch, has their market share has fallen nearly 4%, which equates to about $5 billion in value. Given it is 132 billion to 127 billion, but still $5 billion. Their stock is plummeting. I can share my screen right here and show this is from the New York Post, like I said earlier. Look at this right here, and you can see this is the stock in the last 5 days. It has gone down, and it is continuing to go down. Because here's the thing: is so like I said earlier, the VP of marketing comes onto this podcast and says that she wants to offer a more inclusive environment. Here's the thing: is that you can be inclusive all you want, but if the way that you claim you're being inclusive is actually alienating a significant portion of your base, then you're gonna lose money. Bad marketing decision, Bud Light. Bad marketing decision. Go woke, go broke.